And now, Mike's thoughts. Sometimes you just gotta shake your head and disapprovement. The Washington Commanders have officially reached out to Andrew Luck, the same Andrew Luck that has been retired for the last 4 NFL seasons. The same Andrew Luck that turns 33 this season. The same NFL Andrew Luck that retired from the Colts because he was basically getting his ass whooped and couldn't stay healthy. The Colts were terrible. Well, Jim Irsay has put out a tweet, and he says, and I quote, "Any team that is interested in Andrew Luck, just know he still belongs to me. This is NFL tampering 101. Do not touch him." So I got to ask the question. Washington Commanders. For one, what are you guys thinking? Andrew Luck has not played for 4 NFL seasons. He's 33 years old, like I just said. You guys have quarterback Sam Howell, a rookie, or a second-year player. Jacoby Brissett, great pickup this offseason. Jake Fromm, to be determined how good or how bad he is going to be, right? And then there's a free agent out there by the name of Nick Foles. You could get him as well. So why are you guys interested in Andrew Luck? Why are you guys interested in somebody that hasn't played the NFL and it has come out and said many times that he is not interested in coming back in the NFL? He is happy. He is happy he doesn't have to roll out of bed in the morning. He is happy that he doesn't have to plan for a Sunday game. He is happy. The man's happy. Washington Commanders. New ownership, new general manager, whatever. Stop it. Stop it. Andrew Luck is not your answer. He was a great talent. I give you that. But he is not the answer. Slow it down, baby. Cue that intro. Are you ready for the best damn radio show on the planet? MANHOUR Nation, rise up.
You know on the beat every time, no. I would like to personally welcome you to MANHOUR After Dark. Say that thing. I bring you the host, Mike, Buck, and Cone. You know who coming to the stage. Sports talk than what you about to hear right here. I second that.
Go. You know that it's us when we talking about sports. Giving you facts on the field to the court. Tune in. We need the support. 1 hour too short. Never too more. On all your stations, not dropping no music. Starts like Adidas, but Nike just do it. Down 4 in the 4th, we go for the win. Michael 2 seconds, we taking it in.
Mike fucking Cone.
You know what's going on. Man, now we're After Dark. No LA, we the big spark. No 4th and inches won't cut you short. Got the best talking, it's all sports. Buzzing more than buzzer beaters. We coming live all through your speakers. Go.
And what is up, MANHOUR Nation? Michael Bakashi here. Head over to manhourradio.com. Check out the merchandise page. Of course, check out the blog section as well. And if you haven't done so already, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and of course, share this with a couple friends as well, because sharing is caring at the end of the day. Welcome to the Monday edition, guys, of MANHOUR Radio. It is way or no way Monday here. We are just a few days away from the NFL schedule release, and the football is getting antsy over here at the Buckeister household, and it is only May. High school practice hasn't even started yet. OTAs is kind of going on, whatever you want to call that. A couple, hey, rookies, come on over, we'll throw the ball around, but it is what it is at the end of the day. But way or no way, we're going to talk about Zay Flowers. We're going to talk about Brett Veach at the end of the day. Rams in the tanking mode, Matt LaFleur, and of course, Aaron Rodgers and his amazing wish list that, quote, wasn't a wish list, but whatever. It is what it is at the end of the day. But we do got to welcome a couple of people into the chat here. Arthur Brown says, what's good, baby? Oh, Arthur Brown hitting with the baby today. Oh, Arthur Brown. Now, be safe out there on the roads, my man. Arthur Brown is a professional driver in the streets of L.A. or New York or wherever he is. Be safe out there, my man. Be safe. Of course, you got Alpha Rob jumping in the chat as well. Over there, I see Alpha Rob. I see you, big guy. Biggest supporter of MANHOUR. He has been with us for damn near 2 years now. Great guy. Of course, Mama Buck's in the chat as well. Mama Buck is always there. What is up? But first, we have to welcome the sponsor of today's show, and that is BetStamp. BetStamp.app. Guys, betstamp.at is like the Expedia of line shopping. If you guys don't know, there are hundreds upon hundreds of sports bets book out there right now. And every sport book has a different odd, has different wagers, has different this, a little bit of different of that. Betstamp.at gives you the biggest bang for your buck. They will give you, if you want to vote, or if you want to place a bet on the Kansas City Royals today, they're plus 500 or whatever it is. I haven't looked. But there are different sports books bets out there that are, some of them are plus 400, some of them are plus 700. They'll give you the biggest bang for your buck. That is betstamp.app. And if you go to betstamp.app/groups and use promo code MANHOUR, they will give you the minimum deposit of every new sport book that you sign up to, right, guys? They'll give you money just for signing up with them. What? That's right. They gave me $185. I've turned that into over $2,000 without even risking $1 of my own money. Makes the other half very, very happy at the end of the day. So it is time to get into way or no way. Excuse me on that. That was a little orange dreamsicle burp. I apologize for that, guys. That just kind of came out of nowhere. But if you guys are new here, way or no way is simple. We put out a statement. I've been tinkering a little bit of stuff here on the interwebs the last few days, doing a little bit of this, doing a little bit of that, and I have collected way or no way. So we're going to put out a statement, and I'm going to tell you if it's a way or if it's a no way. It is pretty cut and dry, pretty simple here on MANHOUR NFL Talk Monday edition. So, my man, Mr. Zay Flowers has come out and says that he can, quote, do it all for the Baltimore Ravens this season. He says he is going to be a jack of all trades and he is going to be basically great for the Baltimore Ravens. Those are my words, not his. But I read between the lines. I understand what you're saying. So, way or no way, should Zay Flowers be Mr. Do-It-All for the Baltimore Ravens? And should he be coming out and saying this? So let's flash back a couple years ago. First round draft pick, Lamar Jackson. Next couple days after the draft, he says, hey, I'm going to bring a Super Bowl to the Baltimore Ravens during my rookie contract. Well, that has time and come, and basically he put himself up on this pedestal, and the fans were groveling at his feet. And that made me a huge Lamar Jackson hater and basically poke flows in all of his games. Zay Flowers, excellent college receiver. Great time at Boston College there. Led them in many, many games. Won them a lot of games by his pure athletic ability. But should he be coming out and saying this? I'm going to go with no way. No way. He should not be coming out and saying this and saying that he wants to do this, this, and this, and this. Because what is the greatest ability in the NFL? And that is availability. So if you start returning kicks, if you start returning punts, if you start running the reverse sweeps and this and this and this, you're going to end yourself up injured. And then you're going to end up yourself looking like Lamar Jackson in the end. Basically going to be, right? Zay Flowers, pump the brakes, my man. Go through minicamp, go through preseason, and then a couple weeks of the season, and then maybe start tooting your own horn. Don't pull a Lamar Jackson. Don't wish a Super Bowl draft night and then never win a game in the playoffs. Yes, I know we won a couple of games, but whatever. Let's digress from that. So no way on this. Like, pump the brakes, baby. Zay Flowers, you're going to have probably a very, very good NFL career. 12, 13, 14 years. I see you being a really good receiver, but slow the roll, baby. Slow the roll, baby. Damn. Patriots End Zone in the chat. What's up, Patriots End Zone? Why is my chat not on this one? Where's it at? I guess I got to flip over to this one. He says, he can take handoffs, return punts, and kicks, and catch passes. He can do all that. He definitely can. But do you want him to? That is my question, do you want him to? Let's look at somebody very near and dear to my heart, Dante Hall for the Kansas City Chiefs, Mr. X Factor himself. He could return punts. Excellent punt returner. Excellent kick returner. A average receiver at best. Ran the reverse, ran the ball. His career was cut really, really short because he did all that. I don't know. It is what it is. Arthur Brown says, slow your horses, Rook. Don't set yourself up for failure, buddy. Exactly right. This has Lamar Jackson written all over it. Set yourself up for these big expectations, and even if he performs at 80% of those expectations, you're going to be like, man, I thought you were going to be do all this. I know. Patriots Enzo says, don't knock the guy for being excited to play. I'm not knocking the guy for exciting to play. I love it. I'm love that you're excited to play, but don't count your chickens before the eggs hatch or something like that. Yeah, don't count your chickens yet. Go through minicamp. Go through OTAs. This is the one thing that I've started to dislike is they're throwing these microphones in front of these, 19, 20-year-old kids that just had life-changing money and basically expect them not to say what we want to hear, right? I mean, I get it. I get it. I 100% get it. But damn. Slow the roll, baby. Slow the roll. Ooh. There we go. One more thing before I do the next one. Arthur Round says, being excited is one thing, but this is the NFL, not high school. So here in my hometown, or not my hometown, but the town that I'm currently living in, basketball is God here, right? Basketball is God. The AAU scene is astronomical, right? People are making hands over fist money for these kids, right? It just like it is what it is. But they're throwing these microphones in front of these 12-year-old kids and expecting them not to say that kind of thing. I don't know, but I get it. Katie Wilson is in the chat. She says, I am ready for NFL and a calf being born. It is that time of year. It is time to pull those baby calves out, put some grain and some hay in their feet, and put them in my freezer. That's what time it is. That's what a time it is. But next up here, let's speak of Katie Wilson and the Kansas City Chiefs. Brett Veach says Toney is going to be a number one receiver for the Kansas City Chiefs moving forward. Very excited about his growth and potential for the Kansas City Chiefs. So with that being said, way or no way does Brett Veach have any ground to stand on to say who is going to be the number one receiver for the Kansas City Chiefs? Obviously, Brett Veach has been a very great general manager for the Kansas City Chiefs. Bringing in Andy Reid, bringing in Eric Bieniemy, Patrick Mahomes, right? And they put together a very, very good opportunity there in Kansas City. Things are looking up. Things are looking very, very positive for the Kansas City Chiefs. But Toney was this image here, right here on the screen. That was his basically note to fame. Was that one touchdown catch where he hop, skipped, and stepped into the end zone. It was a very, very good play. But to say he is going to be the number one receiver, I'm going to go with no way. No way, because the simple fact that the Kansas City Chiefs don't need a number one receiver. The Kansas City Chiefs don't need to be like, hey, this is our guy. The Kansas City Chiefs do not need to say, this is what we're going to do. What happened when they made Tyreek Hill the number one guy? They were good. They were good, but they weren't the Kansas City Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes was force-feeding him the ball. Now, there's more to the story than what is out there, what I'm saying, but you get what I'm saying. What makes the Kansas City Chiefs so great is they don't have a number one receiver. They don't have that person that you can double team each and every week. MVS can step up and be the number one receiver. Toney can be step up and be the number one receiver. Sky Moore can step up and be the number one receiver. Like, maybe this is kind of like patting Toney on the back, like saying, hey, man, we are glad you're here. Like, we're going to get you the ball as much as we can. We want to get you that contract. But we don't need that. The Kansas City Chiefs, like when I say we, because I'm a Kansas City Chiefs fan, is we don't need that number one receiver. So Brett Veach, even though you are the general manager, even then if you said, hey, this is our number one receiver, at the end of the day, it's the offensive coordinator. It is the head coach. It is the quarterback that basically determines who the number one receiver is. So Brett Veach, slow your roll, man. Slow your roll. I understand you're trying to make a name for yourself, which you've already had. You've already made a very good name for yourself, man. Just pump the brakes a little bit. Maybe this could be the theme for the day for today's show is pump the brakes. Slow it down, baby. Pump the brakes. Like, I get it. Back over here to the comments here. Patriots End Zone, this is referring to what we were talking about earlier. He says, but do we do it as adults too? Ever go into a new job thinking you're going to be great? Patriots End Zone, as always, you are spot on. I don't want somebody to go like, oh yeah, I'm just going to be mediocre at a job. Like I get it. Like, I understand what you're saying. But it's time to slow the roll. Katie Wilson says, no way. It's their decision. Their, I guess, meeting as in the head coach. But yeah, you are correct. It is not Brett Veach's spot to determine the depth chart. It is your job to bring players in. It is your job to make sure we have a front office or a head coaching staff or a coaching staff in general that can put your pieces together and make it work, right? Patriots End Zone says, no way. I hope he's right because I like the kid, but history isn't on his side. Yes. When he was the guy in New York, kind of never heard from him, right? I hope that the Andy Reid effect can kind of put him in his place, I guess. Like, hopefully Andy Reid can put Toney in his space and place and understand, like, hey, this is your role. This is what you're going to do. You are not our number one guy. But you can get number one opportunities. As a GM or owner needs to know their role. He isn't a coach or a quarterback. Another Jerry Jones in Kansas City. Whoa! Shots fired from the Miami Dolphins fan, Arthur Brown. So first things first, guys. First things first. Jerry Jones is a great owner. We have not talked about the Dallas Cowboys in months here on the Man Hour. But, boom, there he is in our news. Jerry Jones is a perfect salesman for the Dallas Cowboys. Jerry Jones is an owner that all NFL teams need. When you're talking about me, I'm making money, baby. When I'm talking about somebody else and you want to compare me to Jerry Jones, I'm making money, baby. But yeah, you are correct. My man needs to slow his roll. He needs to slow it down, baby. Sorry, been watching a little bit too much No Life Shack lately. It is what it is at the end of the day. Moving on. LA Rams. The LA Rams. Super Bowl champions from a couple years ago. 4-win team from last season. But many people are thinking that the LA Rams are in full tank mode for the 2023 NFL season. They traded away this person. They traded away this person. Their draft was kind of meh, right? Sean McVay didn't want to come back, but now he's back. Matthew Stafford has been flirting with retirement, yada, yada, yada. So I got to actually ask you this question. Way or no way are the LA Rams already tanking for the 2023 NFL season? First things first. If you're tanking in the month of May for the NFL season, something is totally wrong. This is not the NBA. This is not the NBA. But guys, let me tell you this. This is a no way. They're not tanking at all. No way, no how, no way, Jose, not today on Tuesday, even though it's Monday. But, guys, the LA Rams are going to be a sneaky good team this season. Think about this. Last season, Aaron Donald hurt most of the season. Played through injury, it just wasn't himself, right? Cooper Kupp got injured, second, third week of the season. He'll be back. Matthew Stafford missed 8 or 9 games last season. He'll be back. He'll be healthy. He'll be hungry. All reports are showing that he is hungry and ready to play. They got the running game figured out. They got some offensive line. They are trimming some old pieces on the defense and putting in some new pieces. Guys, the LA Rams are going to surprise some teams. Surprise a lot of teams this season. I talked about them earlier, like, oh yeah, maybe they are tanking. But no. Looking at it on hindsight, looking at their mini camps that they just had, I got to watch the film because I got the NFL pass, right? I got to watch all of it, and they look pretty good. Matthew Stafford looks like that dude again. Cooper Kupp is running around like a little man, right? He is flying. He's flying. But they will be okay. Now, Super Bowl might be a little bit of a reach. Playoffs, right there at their grass. Right there, right now, they're like, ooh, I can touch that, baby. I can feel it. Add a little piece there or a little piece there. They might be division winners. They might be division winners if they get one more piece. I'm not for sure what that piece is. Is it going to be a tight end or like that slot receiver? Either or, they kind of need that dump down guy. But watch out, guys. Watch out. The Rams are going to make some noise this season. They're not going to be another 4-win team. They are not going to be a bye on the schedule, right? They are going to be a force to reckon with. They are going to be good. Just tanking already in May? Come on, man. I can't believe people put that thought in my head. Sheesh, what are you thinking? Apparently, Arthur Brown knows what he's thinking. He says, wait, I think they are. I think they are tanking that he says. Wait, I think they are. Aaron Donald is on a whisper meal of getting out on the next flight. Might be a Miami Dolphin. If Aaron Donald becomes a Miami Dolphin, what do you guys legitimately think it would take to get Aaron Donald to Miami? Is it 2 first-round picks? Is it 3 first-round picks? Or is it just a second round? Like, hey, just get him off of our books and give us some draft capital. If Aaron Donald becomes a Miami Dolphin, oh my God, I cannot fathom the anticipation in Miami. We think New York is on cloud 9 right now. My Miami Dolphins are about on cloud 7 right now with Tyreek Hill, Tua, Waddle. They got Jalen Ramsey too, right? If they get Aaron Donald with Nick Chubb, this might be the all veteran team, but Aaron Donald still has it. He still has it, and I would be. Oh my God, I can see Arthur Brown now. Here we are, baby. Let's go. Come on, Aaron Donald to the Miami Dolphins. What are you guys smoking down there? I don't think the LA Rams would let Aaron Donald go for anything less than 2 first-round picks. And let's say they do let him go for something cheap. First-round pick, maybe a second-round pick, right? Like anything but 2 first-round picks. This screams tampering all over it. This screams NBA tanking. We're in the month of May right now. And Arthur Brown would be spot on. But Aaron Donald to the Miami Dolphins. Let me guys know what do you think about that? Is that a possibility, and where does that put the Miami Dolphins? I see some Patriots fans in there, and I know we have a lot of AFC East fans in this group here. I'm just curious. Patriots End Zone says, no way. Nobody tanks from the start, and nobody worth tanking for. So, in the NFL, right? There are certain leagues that you can tank in, right? NBA, you can tank 100%, right? Because one person can change your franchise. It can make you from the worst team to the best team. One person in the NBA franchise can. Major League Baseball teams do it every July. They unload their books. They give all the way their best players to competitive teams, and they tank, right? I mean, granted, there's like 187 rounds in the Major League draft, but whatever. It is what it is, right? NFL is probably one team sport that you cannot tank in. Let's just be honest. The Houston Texans last season, all they had to do was continue what they've been doing all season long, and that was lose games. They fire their head coach like, hey, this is your last game, yada, yada, yada. And it was the go out and win one for the skipper. Stick it to the man, right? Because when you think of an NFL team trying to tank, not only do you have to have the head coach on board, you got to have the defensive coordinator, the offensive coordinator. How about the 11 players on defense, the 11 players on like offense? Hell, you got to have 22 players as substitutes. You got to have the kicker. Like, it takes more than one person to tank a NFL game. Even if it was just the quarterback, like, oh, I just want a first round pick. I want Zay Flowers on my team next season. It takes a lot to tank, right? I mean, you can fumble it, you can do this, whatever, yada, 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 but the defense is still going to come out and perform. The rest of the team is going to perform. So you are exactly right. Nobody can tank in the NFL. I mean, especially like in May, June, July, August, September, October, November. There's just, I would safe to say that there is no tanking in the NFL. Now, there might be some incentives like, hey, lose, man. Like, hey, your job's safe, just like lose, right? But we all know the Brian Flores situation. Get paid to lose and then get thrown underneath the bus and like and get fired for not winning, right? So it is what it is. It is. Patriots End Zone says, when the major league teams tank, it's for minor league prospects, not draft picks. Exactly right. You are right. But man, that feels bad coming to my mouth. Now I know how my wife feels. Yeah, you're right. I'm kidding. I am never right. You guys seen the flow chart. You and your other half are like talking, right? You're wrong. She's right. She is right. You're both wrong. She is right. You are right. She is wrong. You are wrong. I don't know. Sometimes I spend too much time on the old TikToker. The old tickety talk to pa. Get back to the NFL talk, guys. Aaron Rodgers is officially a New York Jet, right? He's got Alan Lazard. He's got Randall Cobb. He's got this. He's got that. Robert Saleh comes out and says, and I quote, Aaron Rodgers' wish list is a silly narrative. So we got to ask this question. Way or no way did Aaron Rodgers really have a wish list to come to New York? This is a way. Like, seriously, this is a way. The last 3 seasons, we've seen the Aaron Rodgers saga play out. I want this to happen if you want me to stay. Randall Cobb comes back to town. I want this to happen if you want me to stay. He signs that $50 million contract and bada bing, bada boom, goodbye, Devontae Adams, right? Now, if you want me to come to New York, a wish list, right? We use the word air quotes there because obviously Aaron Rodgers says he didn't have a wish list, but it's kind of weird that everybody that was on the wish list is now in New York except for Odell Beckham Jr., but they end up getting Randall Cobb for that anyways. To say this is a silly narrative, guys, the wish list may not have been, quote, a wish list, but I bet you Robert Saleh and whoever the general manager for the New York Jet is, I don't know who he is, said, Aaron Rodgers, when you become a New York Jet, what do you want? What do you think will make us successful in the AFC? And I guarantee he's like Alan Lazard, Randall Cobb, Mercedes Lewis, and Odell Beckham Jr. That's probably what he said. And then, of course, us as the media, we probably twisted and said, oh, this is his wish list. But let's just be honest. When you are bringing in a top prospect into your corporation, and the corporation just kind of just been flatlining, right? No ups and no downs. They've just been kind of flatlining. You are going to listen to this top prospect that you're bringing in to catapult your company up. If he says Randall Cobb will make us in a playoff contender, I'm going to go get Randall Cobb. If you say Alan Lazard is going to be a top 5 receiver in this league, get him now, I'm going to go get Alan Lazard. So you can call it what you want. You can call it a wish list. But at the end of the day, Aaron Rodgers got everything that he wanted in New York. He got his deal. He got his receivers. He got his tight end. It's just, to say it's a silly narrative, Robert Saleh, if you think it is a silly narrative, you need to come back down to reality, my man. Just because every top athlete has a wish list in the end. Now, some GMs, some coaches may not make that wish list come true, but every top athlete in the NFL, NBA, Major League Baseball, hockey, whatever, has some type of wish list, has players they want to play with. So to tell me that is a silly narrative, Robert Saleh, you need to calm down, slow your roll, and understand it is not a silly narrative. It is facts upon facts upon facts, my man. This is a way. Aaron Rodgers did have a wish list. No way about it, but whatever the wish list may or may not have been, it doesn't matter because the Jets are still going to be bottom feeders in this league. They're still going to be bottom feeders, not in this league, in the East. They're still going to be bottom feeders in the East. Like all these wish lists things do not change what they are. They are not as good as the Buffalo Bills. They're not as good as New England Patriots. They're not as good as the Miami Dolphins. They could have added Odell Beckham Jr., Aaron Jones, and Devontae Adams, and it still wouldn't have been that, right? It's just the Jets narrative. Green cheese head in New York. Yeah, this also. Let's talk about this. The Green Bay Packers and Aaron Rodgers historically do not perform in the playoffs. Yes, they can make it to the championship game, but they always shit the bed in the end. So this wish list that Aaron Rodgers wanted, Lazard, Mercedes Lewis, Odell Beckham Jr., Randall Cobb, right? Why would you want to fulfill that wish list if they're not going to give you a championship? Like, why bring the Green Bay Packers to New York? Like, it just doesn't make sense. Like, I understand you want to make the man happy. But and Aaron Rodgers, you obviously weren't happy with what's happening in Green Bay, right? So why would you want to bring all that to New York? It just this doesn't make sense to me. Yes, I understand. I want to play with people that I understand and I know, and I get it, but damn. You might as well just uproot the Green Bay Packers, move them to New Jersey, move the Cleveland Browns to Lambeau, and bada bing, bada boom. Problem is solved. Maybe, probably. Hashtag waffle for Katie there. Oh, man. Patriots Intel says, way. He is the prima donna in the league. He had a list and a mile long. Besides Lazard, Cobb, and Mercedes Lewis and Odell Beckham Jr., what else was like on that list? I'm just Rodgers. Google has everything, right? Wish list for New York. I mean, I understand, like, it was, who was it released by? But anyways, I do know those 4 names were like on there, but I don't know about the rest. Was it to bring Jordy Nelson out of retirement? Was it to bring Gronk? I don't know. But yeah, Patriots said, no, you are exactly right. He did have a mile-long wish list. And if Saleh didn't know about the list, does that mean maybe he wasn't on it? Ooh, that is a good point there. So Robert Saleh says it is a silly narrative, right? And basically saying that he didn't have a wish list. So what if Robert Saleh was the odd man out? Like, hey, I want Nathaniel Hackett to be my head coach. Now he is the offensive coordinator there now in New York, right? For the Jets. What if he was the odd man out? Is Robert Saleh now on the hot seat? Way to bring that up, Wayne G. That is a good point. What if Robert Saleh is on this hot seat and the Jets tank for the first 4 weeks of the season, get Robert Saleh out, and then bada bing, bada boom, Nathaniel Hackett is the head coach, and then they go win the Super Bowl? What about that? Whoa. That is very intriguing. Very intriguing to me. Very, very intriguing. Moving on. Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers. Never ceases to amaze me how all these players are taking huge steps during the offseason. Justin Fields taking huge steps, right? Jordan Love taking huge steps. Matt LaFleur says Jordan Love has taken huge steps this offseason and is very excited to see him start for the Green Bay Packers in the 2023 NFL season. So, guys, way or no way has Jordan Love taken huge steps? Is Jordan Love going to lead the Green Bay Packers to the promised land? Is Jordan Love going to be another 15-year starter in the NFL for the Green Bay Packers? Can we say yet to be determined? Can we get a hashtag waffle in the description? In the chat, hashtag waffle, because good gravy. How has he taken huge steps in 2 days of OTAs? Everybody looks good in May. Everybody looks good in shorts and a t-shirt with a beanie on. Like, how can we legitimately say that Jordan Love is taking huge steps? How can we say that Justin Fields is taking huge steps? Like, I don't get it. I understand. Scroll back up in the chat. It is excited to be on the football field. People are excited to the growth of the team. They're excited. I get it. They're excited. But how can we legitimately say that somebody has taken huge steps in 2 days of OTAs? Like, I'm not trying to be a Green Bay hater. I'm not trying to be a downer. How can somebody say you have legitimately taken huge steps in 2 days of OTAs with no shoulder pads on, no helmet on, no thigh pads, nothing disrupting your ability to put a ball right there on the dime like you're supposed to with nothing on? They were throwing routes, for crying out loud. Now, when we say huge steps, it's a very vague term, right? Huge steps, it's a very vague term. Huge steps as in, hey, he put on 20 pounds. That's a huge step. Hey, that ball looks a little bit more, it's got 3 more RPMs on it. That's a huge step. Like, I get it. People are excited. It's May. Draft picks are out there. My quarterback's out there, right? We move on from the Aaron Rodgers saga. Like, I get it. But damn. Packers fans out there. Green Bay Packers fans. Legitimately, what would be considered huge steps for Jordan Love moving forward? Now, I've seen Packers fans out there and say that. I pushed the wrong button. I've seen Green Bay Packers fans out there and say that they expect Jordan Love to about 3,500 yards, 4,000 yards this season for 20 touchdowns. Are those huge steps in the right direction? is putting on 10 pounds, or is that the huge steps in the right direction? Like, what are the huge steps? What are the huge steps? I really don't believe Jordan Love is going to be successful in the NFL, period. Let me repeat that for the people in the back. Arthur Brown says, I really don't believe Jordan Love is going to be successful, period, in the NFL. Why is that, Arthur Brown? Is it because that he has had very limited game action and we don't know how he truly is going to be? This was the same narrative about Aaron Rodgers, right? His first game out there, he was complete dog poo-poo. And then look at him. One of the greatest quarterbacks in the NFL. To say he's not going to be successful in the NFL, period, I think right now that is a very, very big reach. That is one of the biggest reasons, saying that Justin Fields is going to be a bust, or Bryce Young is going to sit week one. There are very large stretches in the NFL trying to pick some spaghetti off of the wall, but Jordan Love not going to be successful. Or sorry, I don't believe Jordan Love is going to be successful in the NFL. Yeah. I think he is going to be a medium, tier of the road, Alex Smith-esque type of quarterback. He is going to be that game manager that the Green Bay Packers need. Now, are the Green Bay Packers going to be satisfied with the game manager? Probably not. Will Jordan Love end up on a different team if he is that game manager? Probably. But winning cures all. Winning cures all. Don't believe the local media hype. There are writers up there talking about Mac is an MVP candidate. Local writers sucking off of the team's tweets. Sorry, teats. Yeah, local media at this time of year, I believe Patriots End Zone said that is the best, that every NFL team thinks they drafted 9 Pro Bowlers, right? Every NFL team, every NFL fan base thinks they nailed this year's draft. Every local writer, media, fan thinks that their quarterback is an MVP candidate. Their team's a Super Bowl candidate at the end of the day. You can think that all you want. Local media is going to hype up their team. That is their job, right? But then there's people like us out here that realistically, the Patriots could have a really good team. Packers could have a really good team. But at the end of the day, MVP, nah. Super Bowl, nah. Not going to happen on my watch. Arthur Brown says Cam Newton has a better chance of making a comeback and being an MVP than Jordan Love being successful. Cam Newton has a better chance of making a comeback and being an MVP than Jordan Love being successful in the NFL. Arthur Brown, my man, I like where you're going today. Cam Newton says he is not in the NFL right now because of his hair. He says the NFL owners, quote, do not like his hair. So to think that Cam Newton's going to come back and be MVP, not going to happen. That is not going to happen. Probably the only guy I want less than Mac Jones. Let me ask you this question here, Patriots End Zone. If you guys have not subscribed to his YouTube channel, he puts out great content. I will link it in the description here next time. I just need to put that in my default settings here. But why do you hate? let me think about this. Put this in words that. Why do you hate Mac Jones? Is it because that he led you to the playoffs his rookie season? Because he had to step back the last couple seasons, he took a step back last season. I mean, you guys had a terrible offensive coordinator. You just had offense in general was just horrible. What makes you think that Mac Jones is going to be any worse than last year? And he was still a top 20, top 15 quarterback in the NFL. Now you're adding Bill O'Brien, the best offensive coordinator ever to walk the grace of this earth, to come to New England. Going to put that Tom Brady effect into Mac Jones? Like, why do you hate Mac Jones? Why do Patriots fans in general dislike Mac Jones. I mean, Bailey Zappi, I liked him as a hilltopper. He set all-time NCAA records, right? Bailey Zappi is going to be a great backup for the Patriots for many, many years. Mac Jones is going to be a starter for the Patriots for many, many, many years. So you better start to love the guy. But tell me, why do you hate him? Why is Mac Jones so hated? I'm just 100% curious. Why do people hate Mac Jones? Karen writes, hey, send me a friend request. Can we be friends? AKA spammer. You don't want no spams here. Go ahead and block that. Block that hoe. Block that girl. Anyways, guys, that is going to be it for today's show. I have a new schedule breakdown for tomorrow and moving on. So we'll be going on a full hour, guys. No more of this 30-minute, 45-minute crap. We'll be going on for a full hour moving forward. Rain or shine, Monday through Friday, 5 days a week, 2 p.m. East Coast time. I need to prepare to be solo moving forward. And that's what I'm going to do. No more relying on everybody else. We here. But tomorrow, guys, 2 p.m. East Coast time. NFL schedule release is coming in a few days. Get excited, guys. NFL season's getting closer. And we're not 250 some days. We're like 140, 130 days away. See you tomorrow, guys. Same time, same place. Like, comment, subscribe. See you tomorrow.